Welcome back to some professional Starcraft 2, a team league match. It's been a little bit since we've seen any, but let me introduce your very first player from your very first team. It is Team eXoN's Protoss champion, MaxPax. While he might be committed, while he might be one of the most iconic cheesers, a man less committed in name, if not in strategy. He's not MaxPax. He's not the best of, but he is sort of. Representing Team Archangel, the challengers, in this full spread match. We've got 1v1s. We've got more 1v1s. We've got like 4 1v1s. We have a 2v2. We have a 3v3. We have a lot of numbers. We got numbers all over the place. There's also a 4v4. We're not spell disaster for you. But we're starting with this. This is a best of 1 match. So, starting early. Zerglings on the pylon. Zealots standing by, wondering why they don't have supply depots to lower. Meanwhile, Pylon taking a lot of damage. Pylon gonna go down. That's not gonna depower anything, but well, the Zerglings kind of just walked in the other side anyways, so that it didn't really help much. It is going to supply block, sort of. He did start his Adept, though. Wait, not sort of. The MaxPax, who didn't go for a MaxPax build, of course. He's not against Terran. But even though the Zerglings got in, that is not the end of the world. Zerglings, believe it or not drones. A lot of people fooled by this. But since Zerglings are not drones, every time you use that larva to build Zerglings, you're not building drones. Now, sort of is building drones, but he had to catch up economically and only now passes the probe count. So this is a bit of an odd scenario. He lost 3 probes, which is probably a couple more than he would have hoped for against the gasless pool first. But overall, since we're on the long map, Jagannath, I like the first one better. Every time. I gotta try every time. But we're also going to fail every time. Branda, okay. You brought the creep? Okay. 2 Zealots and 2 Adepts. Not the most fearsome of attacking forces, but it's what he has. MaxPax pulls back into the main. The Shades, though, cancel at the last second. A very convincing Shade there. And since Zergling speed is not complete, going to be hard to get this around. The Shades come out again. The Zerglings with speed would have been able to catch these. They don't have speed. I say that once again. The Adepts are just in the main, slaughtering drones, getting more than their money's worth. That has more than paid for themselves. And there's not much more you would have been able to do. Okay, this is getting out of hand. The last Adept. Oh, come on. No. No, it won't. The shields. It might. Oh, the speed. Use the slingshot. What a save! A disgustingly effective set of Adepts. I gotta say, MaxPax sold the Shade on the first pass. Sort of bit. And then that left him out of position for the rest. So 10 drones, more than make up for the 3 probes killed. MaxPax. What was just canceled? What just got canceled? I think he thought about assimilators. I'm pretty sure he just canceled an assimilator. And he's decided, well, I'm gonna make more gateways. The question is it for glaives or for charge? I think glaives, but let us see. It is a little later on, so both are on the table. He doesn't quite have the gas yet. He's gonna be building an Oracle first. Out of a, like, the Stargate is gonna throw things off. Obviously, it's the air, which is another dimension from the ground, which is another dimension from the Oracle I completely missed that killed 5 more drones. I do not think, based on context clues, sort of was expecting an Oracle so soon after that. Glaives is the choice. The Star Glaives. No, not the Phoenix Opener. A lot of damage is being dealt to sort of On the bright side. On the bright side. He is not, he does have a roach horn. On the downside, though, he's constantly... Maxpax has done so much damage, and he's hidden his shades. But now the shades come off. Because we're inside. It's weird. Take your sunglasses off. This isn't like the World Poker Tour, but it is. And all in, and he was holding on to his hand until the last second. He whips out the Adept Shades. Will there be a wall in time? No, there are Zerglings on the way. Sort of is supply blocked, unable to build roaches. Zerglings, not what you want, but the... Wait. Glaives is not done. I mean... I don't know if Sort of notices that, or will he give it too much of a concern. The Oracle's getting involved. The Queen's being slaughtered by the Adepts, but the Oracle is helping focus their fire. Glaives is now done at the most inopportune time. Maxpax eviscerating the mineral lines, the resonating Glaives. More than enough. And what looked a little tenuous for Sort of is now desperate. Maxpax has a third done. He's got 54 probes, and he's got way too many drone kills. That is terrible, terrible damage. 22. It's just getting gratuitous now. Everybody, look away. Look away. Go to our sponsors. This brought to you by the Pick Up Your Sticks podcast, bringing you this and every other slaughter you could ever want. Jimmy, where's our... We'll get back to that. So Sort of is in this awkward position many Zergs find themselves in, where the Adepts don't kill you. Eventually the Adepts are stopped, usually. But the both physical and emotional damage that they dealt will have lasting effects. Sort of is going to try for Swarm Host, it looks like, which is not a bad move here. Try to gain some long-term value because the short-term isn't looking great for him. The creep spread is actually stretching out pretty far now. Remember, this is the long map, and it is pretty difficult to actually end your opponent, despite how much damage was... Well, this is, you see, you can go over 16! How many times? Actually, Sort of has a lot of... I mean, Maxpax has a lot of probes. It's like, well, you know it's illegal. If it's in the red, that means they're gonna, like, it's gonna come out... I don't want to be in a higher probe tax bracket. That's not how it works! You just don't mine as much up to 24. Meanwhile, though, with this lane counterattack... Wait. He rushed into a hive instead of going for Swarm House, so he's kind of skipping it here. But Sort of has less drones. The army values... That is just a better army, flat out. +1, Immortals, Sentries, Protoss units. Need I say more? It's just a better army. Like, force fields... Notwithstanding, even without the force fields, there's no guardianship. A bit of a weird blink there. That blink leaves his Immortals out to dry. The Sentries targeted down. Wait a second. I think Maxpax kind of microed himself out of what could have been a victory. That blink all the way back just abandoned his Immortals and Sentries, and he picks up the Immortals, juggles them beautifully, but does lose a few more units. In this... All going for the Observer as well. So this keeps Sort of going. And there is a hive done in a weird exchange. Okay, you're not going to hit him. You're not going to hit him. Honestly, Maxpax may have lost his Sentries just to show off his Prism Micro. You never know with this guy. He's like, wow, watch me. Watch me warp. Now watch me warp in. Watch me warp. Wait, no, pick it up. I don't, Okay. Alright, Matt, we get it. You micro. You just build an army, Maxpax. What are you doing? He's got a nice worker count. I really do feel like Max Pax is letting sort of back into this now, though. You don't want to let a Zerg go. Now, maybe my opinion will be changed today, but what is happening with that probe? Wow. What is going on here? That probe was pondering the depths of the reflecting pools to understand why they're different from spawning ones. 2 disruptors on the way. A couple colossi already done. I love that. I love the adding a couple colossi, then mixing in the ruptors quickly after. Because the colossi will prompt a strong response, but the disruptors are cheaper and better against many of the counters to colossi. Vipers are on the way. Ooh, corrosive biles find a couple sentries. Lurkers on the field, but they don't have their upgrades and they don't have the numbers. Vipers looking for the harpoons, comes in for the snipe. Down goes the Viper. Another round. This is not a great angle for sort of. He doesn't have the lurker range, and without the seismic spines, he's going to have a tough time. Oh, the Warp Prism saunters into Brenda and her knitting crew who are loitering around the main. Oh, the Raptors come in and slam a lurker from existence. A pathetic wing counterattack is easily stalled out by a couple cannons. And right now, Max Pax, where it looked like he was letting it slip a bit, so he's right back in the driver's seat. Killing that 4th base. It's still, like, sort of to his credit, holding on, has his hive tech. Like, I'm kind of surprised he got away with just going hive. Like, you're not supposed to just go hive. You don't just skip to hive. But Max Pax kind of botched the follow-up attack. And we find ourselves here. He's still doing great. His army, amazing. But sort of has options. The lurkers with range are pretty terrifying. Disruptors, even more terrifying. He pulls in a couple. They've already done their damage, but the concave, the spine shredding. Oh, center mass! A lot of damage dealt on both sides. The tsunami of splash ripping through, but a big, relatively big counterattack from both sides. Shades into the main. Zerglings repelled, but drones, well, not being targeted quite yet. The army still caught another disruptor. Blinding Cloud in a confusing place. I don't think sort of has the numbers, and he doesn't have the ability to stop the Raptors. And for Team eXoN, Max Pax takes Game 1. Well played, Mayim. I feel like it was a real meta play. I don't mean that in a good way. It was a meta play. Jimmy! Well, to go for the early pull on Jagannath, it takes so long. Literally, the physical time for Zerglings to get there is the limiting factor. So even though the Zerglings were a surprise, to an extent, like, they can only do so much. So we have another match lined up. Let me explain to you what we're doing. We kind of got thrown into that first one. We got 50 codes. Now, what are the codes for? I'm excited to learn. I should probably know this. If you like free money, well then maybe you should get good at Starcraft. But if you like people who are good at Starcraft getting free money, well then let me explain to you how. How is this not even on the bracket? You know, that command could use a little. That's quite a command. But if you go to the bracket command and you go to Match Arena, you sign in with Twitch. You might have heard of it. Believe it or not, if you just typed right now, you could already be signing into Twitch. We just got the codes Oh my god, that command is so... Okay, I'm gonna clean that up, but... Nope, not a well... Wow, I'm so excited to see the best caster Creighton. The bald guy, Olsen, cast this amazing event. eXoN v Angel 1, you might be like, is that case sensitive? And in any case, no. And we did it. And there you go. $50 in the bank for these players. $500 is the base prize pool, which the main sponsor for this event, the Pick Up Your Sticks podcast, let us...
Welcome to Pick Up Your Sticks, where we talk about why gaming matters, with your hosts Walker Neer and Brett Lindley. I'm Walker, and today we look back at the classic N64 title GoldenEye,
first name
and some
Walker.
other titles adjacent to it, such as Perfect Dark, as well as Agent Under Fire. And
okay, boomers, for all you people who are somehow older than me, and I'm going to be 69 next month, make sure to check out these things that you might remember from your childhood. Pick Up Your Sticks podcast. Check it out. All about Starcraft. I don't play that game. You heard me last game was actually an Age of Empires cast. You might have heard of the Viper, the #1 Age of Empires player, making a cameo appearance in that last match. So, for those of you who might have thought I was casting Starcraft, you were mistaken. Oh my god, 63! He did get sniped. There were stalkers. It's a dangerous life out there for pro gamers. It looks like the players exist. They're here. Shadone! Not showtime. Not downtime. Not any time at all. Shadone. His name... I don't know why I always think he's Showtime. He plays Protoss. Most of the same letters. Like, you know.
See, normally if you go one-on-one with another wrestler, you got a 50-50 chance of winning. But I'm a genetic freak, and I'm not normal.
Moving on. Versus Ryan. And we will see. It's Protoss versus Protoss, everyone's favorite matchup. And let us see. We will be having 4 best of ones. Okay, so I'm not sure how this math works. Here's the math we're doing. The best of ones for they are 1 point. The 2v2 is 2 points, and the 4v4 is 4 points, which there's a lot of Protoss. You're gonna see a lot of Protoss today. I'm not sure who came up with these numbers, but so everybody knows, like, if you win the 1v1s,
So you got a 25% at best at beating me.
because you gotta focus on the teammate, because if you do 4 plus 6, then that's 3 times as
You
much.
can see that statement is not true.
But if you lose all the 1v1s and the 4v4, then that's too many points.
The numbers don't lie, and they spell disaster for you.
And we'll have to see. Fight me IRL. No, I'm not gonna get that close. I'll fight you with words, Dricket. I'm so glad you're here to put this event together, so that way better players can play. There you go. You might be like, Winter, didn't Dricket beat you? And I'm here to cast, alright? Because everyone knows, if you can't play, you cast. And if you can't cast, you cast NA. But only one of these players is North American in this showdown against Shadone. 1 point to Team eXoN to start best of 9 isn't even right, but the counter does not go above 9, so we're gonna say best of 9. We're just gonna keep it there for now. But for Team eXoN, one of our many Protons players, it is Ryan. And in the top left, it is, I don't even know, like, why are their capital letters where they are? What do they mean? It just looks cool. It's like, I'm pretty sure it was innovation, because innovation is actually like, I don't even know how he does it. It's like, and when asked like why those letters are capitalized, his answer was, it looks cool. So I mean, I can't be mad. Like, I accept that. I'm amused by it, but like, I accept it. The why walling on low ground on PvP. Now, personally, I don't know. Seems super vulnerable to me, but it's become more popular because sometimes it's easier to wall off the natural. This way, if you're walling off against the adepts, it's not in between your main and your natural as well. Like, this is relying on having a reaction time somewhere between Has and Estrella, which is like the entirety of every StarCraft player. But this way, the adepts, the choke point for the adepts doesn't get in between your main and your natural. And some maps that do have a ramp, like this one kind of has a ramp leading up to it. It's a half ramp, I think we'll call it. Is that a hard wall? This has also become popular. Wait, I don't think so. I think you can jam an adept in there, but you can't get a stalker through. I've been wrong before. I'm not a architecture genius or a fortifications aficionado. I'm not an expert on walls, but I'm pretty sure you can't jam a stalker through. You might be able to get an adept. We might see this probe leave. Anyways, this is all just bait.
Now I have
just
your
like
attention.
Mr. Loopy subscribing, because of course the standard macro build of Proxy Robo 3 Gate is what's actually happening.
Oh, good.
Thank you,
Now
thank
I
you.
have your attention.
The stalkers are looking. Now, let's think about what the probe saw. And by that I mean what the probe didn't see, which was anything. Oh my god, there's a probe. The probe's on the run. It's gonna be found, and it moves slightly slower than the stalker, but the stalker has to stop and like get its act together before it shoots. So, oh my god, he sees it. He knows! He knows!
Surprise, motherfucker.
But I'm not sure who's surprising who, because this stalker's not gonna... Oh, everybody's just stumbling into the fight now. There is a Stargate, which is kind of a big deal. No expansion for either side. Typical PvP. The chase is on in Scooby-Doo style. The Adepts are shading. Where are the Adepts shade back? A bunch of shield batteries at the front of the expansion he doesn't have. The Immortal's just walking it on its own. Meanwhile, the Stalker's... No, you could get a Stalker through there. See, I don't know what I'm talking about, and I don't know what's happening in this game. The Immortal just walks up. A Void Ray's about to show up to the party. It's like Thanksgiving dinner with all your really, like, the family members you don't invite but show up anyways. It's like, who invited you? How did you get here? Shut up. I'm leaving. I don't... well, good. Fine. And don't come back. Oh, I'll come back. And, where does this leave us? The mineral wall is only a big-ish... Okay, well, they're at shouting distance now. The Void Ray can go out over the... Now there are 2 Void Rays. I'll just start saying numbers more, and that'll make things easier. As you know, like with Archons, 1 + 1 = 1, and now everything's confusing again. Meanwhile, finally, somebody... Oh, wait. Shadone took his there's an observer. There's going to be another... There's 3 Void Rays, but they can fly, which is sometimes an issue. I don't know. I don't think the Stalkers are going to help I don't think there's enough Stalkers to even fight the Void Rays reliably right now. The observer will come out. A Phoenix on the way. I think that's So, since he doesn't have enough energy for a hallucinated Phoenix, this is an actual just straight-up Scout Phoenix, with the side bonus of potentially killing the Prism. And it looks like surprisingly little has been lost. A Robo, a Pylon, and a Probe against a Pylon, a Battery, a Stalker, and a Probe. Evening out to Ryan losing, I would say, slightly more if you include the gas and the position on the map, but like... And now we're all just gonna calm down and figure out how to actually play the game. Alright. Revelation to kill an observer. You don't see it enough. Wait, does he? This observer quaking in its observer boots. No, they're boosters. That's the upgrade name. Does he see it? Well, we'll see if he has that revelation soon. Oh. He's looking. Is he gonna... Really? No. I thought he was gonna slap a revelation on it. Warp gate... Like, it's still powered. He just left it powered. That seems like a loose end to me. The warp gate is still... I don't know if he just doesn't care, but he could warp in like adepts here. On top of... I guess you don't want to go too far out. The prism is sneaking its way along the air ceiling. Oh my god, my brain hurt with that one. You know what I meant. Edge of the map. The flat world. This game has not helped my sanity, but PvP rarely does. The Prism looking for an opportunity. Shadone with 2/3 done third. The Adepts bounced away as the Adepts are in the main now of Shadone. He's going to let him shade. He gets through. A bit of a questionable decision on that. Everybody's kind of filing back. He dealt with the gate at like the worst possible time. The Adepts slaps a pylon in his face. The Adepts actually complete. Is there something... What's happening? Ryan's setting up for a blink all-in. He doesn't have +1. Shadone's about to have blink. What's the Stalker count? It's 13-9. The Gateway count, 3-2. This is not shaping up well for Ryan. There's just less units with worse upgrades, and he doesn't have some overwhelming amount of production either. It's gonna take some immaculate blink micro, as well as a little luck, because he's gonna be fighting into just a better army. Well, the upgrade +1 isn't done at the start of this. Guardian Shield's gonna help a lot. I don't think a Guardian Shield is done for Shadone. A single shield battery could easily stabilize this fight for him. Pops another shield. Looking for more. Maybe goes for the probes. If he can get the third, that'd be a miracle. There's a lot of Stalkers now. 21-9. They just kind of popped up out of nowhere. Wait, did he finish more gates? He finished a 4th gate. Are there more gates? Shadone is only on 2 gates right now. So the sheer amount of Stalker production is surprisingly low. The lack of upgrades is still going to hurt as these Stalkers and that shield battery... the Immortal! The Immortal! Kind of an important part. The Warp Prism, also an important part. But the charged up Void Rays being exhausted. The Guardian Shield stuck in the front. A super awkward fight. Shield battery overcharge is exhausted. 1 sentry left behind as the rest of the Stalkers blink away. That Revelation a little off the mark, and it's hard to miss. So Ryan will be allowed to tuck his little ponytail between his Stalker legs and retreat. But it's not... it's still... It was towards the better end of scenarios for Ryan, I think. Being able to pick off anything and not lose his army. But it's still an uphill battle, literally and figuratively. Fighting into better upgrades, more army, and a better economy. Where's the Robo... You know what this calls for? Everyone knows the best desperation unit. Disruptors. Oh god, wait. No. 1 Oracle. This is absolutely not what needs to happen right. Oh, he doesn't have vision to his own high ground. He can't blink up to his own base because there's no pylon. Oh. Well, 6 probes dying was absolutely not the addition to his army he needed. There's the Disruptor Bay. But I don't think Shadow's gonna let that happen. A hallucinated prism doesn't fool almost anyone. Oh my, never mind. Hook, line, and sinker. The hallucinated prism baited him completely out of position. I take it all back. That's not nearly enough stalkers. You don't win this fight. Ryan putting up a good fight, but GG. Shadow ties it up. 1-1. It felt... That was a PvP. Shadow got away with going Stargate. It was a very PvP start to that game. Just filing in units from both sides and seeing what sticks. But have we exhausted? We're not there yet. We got 50 codes. Remember, you gotta enter the code in. eXoN v Angel 1. Wait. Okay, I was like, I could just spam it. That probably isn't the intended functionality. But if you're not me, and several of you are, then you should be able to enter your very own, with your very own message, whatever it might be. Next up, we have... It'll come as a surprise to me as well, even though I could have looked at the bracket. Solier versus Marsman. So we have, with all due respect, knockoff Solar and knockoff Maru. Solier versus Solar has happened before. That was a mess. Both players are quite high Grandmasters. It's actually kind of ridiculous. In fact, Solier is slightly higher, but they're both over 6,000 MMR. Which, it's actually kind of insane how many players are so good, but just the bleeding edge, like your Serals and your Rainers and your Marus, are just that little bit better. Well, let's see. In the bottom right, for Team eXoN. After... Yeah, it doesn't go over 9. I don't know. Wait, does it? Do we? No, it doesn't. We can't just keep slapping points on there. You know what? Yes, we can. All right. I award 4 points to Gryffindor, and I take 12 points away from Team eXoN because Drickett can't make up his mind. I'm just going to make him very concerned. In the bottom right, for Team eXoN, it is... Oh, wait, we got to do this. Solier. I'm sorry if you see this in the future, Solier. I don't know what I meant. And in the top left, from Team Archangel, Marsman. Not a marksman, but a Marsman. Not a Martian either. Okay, we've come from the future, where they just call them Marsmen. Or Marsmans. I like that more. This probe, sitting on the creep, waiting, watching for its moment to potentially steal 5 minerals. No, threatens it, but not today. Oh wait, he'll steal 5 minerals from the natural, he will. And when this game comes down to whether or not Marsman can build a nexus to stop himself from being revealed 48 minutes from now, those 5 minerals will be missed. Unless he brings them, well, if he returns them back home. No refunds! Just like when Terran players put way too much work into making sure the mules don't grab those extra 25 minerals. The Zerglings, only marginally slower than the probe, some of them slower than others, and I don't mean how fast they walk. This Overlord on the runway right now, in the air, showing off its normal skin. No one remembers what normal skin is like anymore. Oh wait, we're on the we're on the WCS/Pro overlay, which means it doesn't have skins. Oh wait, it might for me. Actually, it does. The Protoss skins are right there. All Protoss look alike to me, okay? Brenda! I can't tell what sort of... This is one of our few non-Protoss we got today. Oh, what is this? 2-gate... Oh, okay. 2-gate Robo. He's no stats. Maybe he is. But a Warp Prism early is definitely an outlier in Protoss versus Zerg. Into a Robo Bay on top of everything, which is just confusing to me. I mean, watch him go Colossus. No. It's for observer speed. That's what it's for. We all know that. Place your bets. You know what'd be boring? Disruptor drops. You know who's boring? Marsman. It's like, Winter, nobody thinks Disruptor drops are boring. Well, you're right, but... A couple roaches come out. I'm not... Just... I think the roaches were for potential Ravagers. In case of, like, a force field the ramp sort of, like, 2012 all-in. Because roaches are obviously not the counter to most robo units. Whether they be Immortals or Disruptors. Maybe Colossi, but exclusively to have something to break that force field just in case. It's not going to be that. The Overlord will scout it. The Overlord will very importantly see an upgrading Robo Bay, and... Oh, you're not supposed to just show him Marsman. His danger ball out there. Wait, is that a second prism? Or did he recall? He did not did he fly home? Am I crazy? Am I losing it? I mean, he might have flown home. I'm getting old and slow. Not necessarily in that order. 2 balls ready to drop into the natural. Very dangerous. Oh, what, really? Okay, so that was a ballsy play, indeed. So what just happened? If those roaches had just attacked the Disruptor, they would have killed it. But he dropped them with such confidence that Solier was like, wait a second, can he do that? And that split second, that extra attack that didn't happen, is what allowed the Disruptor to do damage. Speaking of, well, that Disruptor died, but not before doing a lot of damage. Like, he's just dropped them in his face right now, and this is just inappropriate. He's just willing the Disruptors to do damage, even though there's enough units to kill him. If it works, and it does work, but Solier, he's got a nice worker count, despite all this. Was even nice thing built. Well, Marsman has 46 probes, and essentially nothing else. Well, and by nothing else, I mean a whole attack with a Colossus. This is super weird. So Solar, did he get way too greedy? Maybe? He just spent all his gas right before his Spire finished. He tried to get a 4th. This has happened to me before. You're kind of... Oh, my God. Oh. Well, that doesn't help. Where you're kind of like, oh, yeah, he can just build units and attack. And Marsman just kind of built... Is that Ravager? It popped out in the force field. It knows how to beat them. Did you know 1 in 10 Ravagers is born in a force field, and that's why Corrosive Bile knows how to break it? Fun fact. Okay, that Disruptor shot didn't have the money shot it needed. Oh, he throws up the Corrosive Bile. Doesn't find the Prism, but bashes into the Colossus. The Colossus fell over not only because it's imbalanced, but because the Corrosive Bile softened it up. So not perfect micro out of Marsman. He doesn't have a great... He's got to do something here. The Disruptor fires another shot, but he splits the Xerxes. Brenda and her knitting crew trying to sew things together right now. The Warp Prism's still unfortunately intact. The drones are pulled. He can afford to lose a couple. There's not that many great units left over. That is a risky warp. That is a risky warp. But Marsman has been all about the confident Prism plays, and it's been paying off thus far. He's doing real damage, despite all odds. Like, the Disruptor is the most dangerous force field that exists. 10 drones die. Wait, kill it. Kill it. Kill it. Don't tease everyone. He doesn't want to let the broodlings out. Unless he knows he's safe. That Disruptor's still in the mix here. It feels like Solar has enough units if it weren't for that Disruptor. Like, that single Disruptor is the only thing keeping this army alive. If that Disruptor just dies or misses, then at the very least a recall is going to be forced. I'm pretty sure Marsman is finally acknowledging his own mortality and leaving. Oh, never mind. Jesus Christ. So what? I think Solar was microing his Zerglings on the other side to surprisingly good effect. And that means he may not have even noticed that Disruptor shot. I can't believe, like, this Disruptor has done so much more damage than it ever did. He just whips it out. He has 18 kills. And almost every single one of those kills is a Roach or a Queen. That Disruptor has killed over 30 supply of units. It should have died on the first attack when the Roaches were attacked. But instead, it has just blustered its way into dozens of supply and dozens of kills. And here we go again. Another shot. Goes for the Queens. Is there a double tap? There is. Oh my God. I'm done. Jesus. The Disruptor's doing altogether too much damage. This is still, the only upgrade on the field is +1 melee attack. Besides Prism speed, but I'm not counting. Oh my God. It's time. The Dankruptor comes in again for another shot, but the Roach counterattack. Things are about to get a little crazy. The force fields locking in the Roaches and Ravagers. The Disruptor's still backstopping. Almost no reaction at home. Does he fire the shot? He does. An actually incredible split. The Disruptor only kills a shield battery. His powers don't work so close to the Nexus. Well, the third base dies again, but the fourth, formerly the base formerly known as third, is now the third once again. Another Disruptor. Finally, he learned to split at the cost of a Queen or two. Another Ruptor shot. The finisher. He comes in again. 11 probes are dead, and that number is rising. A scrappy game, which is a nice way of saying sloppy and a hot, hot mess. Both these players scrambling to see how hard they can punch each other, but they're underwater and also pretty drunk. Both players hitting themselves with friendly fire. Oh, that was not himself. Finally, the Dankruptor dies. 24 probes. The probes are still dying. The probes are seasonal raise. You're running out of probes. Remember when I said those 5 minerals mattered? Ha! You thought I was jesting. Remember those oh my god. When it comes down to Marsman with no economy and Solar with no army, we'll remember. 30 probes. He's down to 21 probes. The Disruptor's doing so much. He gets one. He gets one. But the Corrosive Bile is doing surprisingly much as well. Some slow zealots. Oh, the sandwich! Finish him! Where's the Ruptor? He got the sandwich! The Ruptor is everything again! Move! Get the fuck out of the way! I mean, heck! I mean, ah! What is this? Why are the sentries there? The Prism's alive. Disruptor catches nothing. The Prism is everything. The army supply. There's still roaches in his main. By the way, oh no! He has too many. It's over. Solar wins. What a mess. Oh my god. Well, the Disruptors did more than they ever deserved to at the end of the day. Microing your macro is better than macroing your micro. I don't really know. It sounded profound. That didn't really make any sense. Confidence gets you far. And why is it always? You see, now I'm 1/3 Protoss myself, but I'm 100% objective and unbiased. Why is it always the Protoss who just kind of strong-will their way into tournaments, into wherever? Like, we're talking... You don't have... You have 3 different distinct flavors of Protoss. Actually, 2 different flavors of Protoss. Unlike the other races, in my opinion. You got the players who are shield Protoss. You got your Neebs. You got your Neebs. You got your stats. Your showtimes. And then you have your confidence toss, whose... Their specialty is not their strong defense or macro, not their build orders. They just seem to know how to win. We're talking SOS in 100,000 winner-take-all Game 7 finals. You know what he does? Game 7, $100,000 on the line. He proxy it still sticks with me. He proxy gates in his opponent's main. We saw balls dropping last game. I mean, come on. How did he fit in the boot? Parting, just as a person, let alone a player. MC, same thing. You just don't see that sort of player in that sort of confidence. And remember, Marsman lost, but we're still talking about him, and that's the point, right? Like. We are switching over to the NA server. Not that it matters to you guys. That's what's happening here. Which is always a good sign. Let's see if I got the right channel. Yeah. Oh, wait, no, I didn't. I never learned how to type. I still haven't found it. Somebody help me. Wait, don't I have Riser on Friends? No. Somebody come find me. We had to go switch servers, and I'm confused. Oh my god, I was so close. I got it. I thought for a second they would leave without me, and then I remembered I'm mildly E-famous, and also this isn't a Korean ESL Cup. The Korean players just leave. They link the lobby for like 12 seconds, and then they're gone. And then they start. Like, before you could even, like, click on it. Due diligence. Whereas the NA players care about English casters, probably because they can understand them. I will say that. So, shout out to North America. What are these colors? Come on, guys. Have some consistency. Don't you have, like, team colors or something? Jesus. Anyways. In the top right. For Team eXoN. Jennison. Henasin. No, I don't think that's it. And, for Team Archangel. Riser. I don't know where I was going with that. I never know. What is the score? Who won last game? Disruptors. eXoN. Only one gas and a wall off at the natural for Riser. Is this actually going to be a 1 gate expand? I guess Pillars of Gold, like, you gotta ramp to your natural. It is your best chance to actually just straight up defend and attack. Okay, alright. Okay, this probe is definitely cooler, I gotta say. Now the players can't see the skins because of the pro lobby, the WCS setup, but we can. I don't know. Wait, is that the forged skin? That's like the Alarak. Look at. I don't know where I'm going with this. Then again, why am I expecting to have a plan for my next sentence? Or even the end of the one I'm currently on? I rarely do. A Zealot being built. I'm not sure if the lack of upgrading Warp Gate was noticed by the probe on its way out. The pylon is cancelled. So this was a, like, late second gas. No Warp Gate before Stargate. Probes will always find each other. It's like magnets. It's a mystical force no one understands, but they always find each other. Riser let his pylon finish. The Zealot is kind of just a much more dramatic scout than the probes earlier. How many probes are... Okay, there's a Stalker as well. Riser is supply blocked by his proxy pylon, which I gotta say is... Welcome to NA. That is kind of a big deal. Because he wants to build a Void Ray. Hard to build a Void Ray when you're supply blocked. And now, this puts him in the awkward position of having to... Well, he decides on chrono boosting out an Oracle. But Jennison's already going to be coming across the map. He's got Blink started. Expansion, similar times for both players. So now, this is, awkward is putting it mildly. Because the battery itself can be targeted. You're probably not going to go into 2 Stalkers and a Zealot. And at this point, Jennison has to assume Warp Gate's coming up any second. Based on his own. You know something else is... Oh my god, the Oracle almost dies on the way out. The Revelation, a little bit on the late side. But thankfully, the Oracle didn't just outright die. The Stalkers are recalled. Riser will know that. So hopefully, he doesn't find himself losing the Oracle to the Stalkers he can see. Oh, this is risky business. Oh. He gets a probe. He's got to justify his budget somehow. Jennison does have Blink on the way. He's definitely gotten the better end of this early game. A more comfortable expansion. Blink as opposed to the Twilight Council just finishing. Surprisingly far out of position for the Oracle. Oh my god. A dangerous game. I don't predict any more probe kills for that Oracle when he comes in one more time, and Blink's already done. 5 minutes in. Riser going for the Forge, but Jennison gonna have his a little quicker. The one thing here is the Oracle getting any kills. Ah, there you go. Third time, not the charm. A death sentence. Riser, though, investing more, building probes more regularly, as well as chrono boosting them, I have to assume. 37 to 31 probes. That's kind of a significant deficit, considering Jennison actually got his Nexus slightly quicker. Where are these chronos going? Yeah, into Blink and +1. Is Jennison going to feel pressured to get damage done? Or does he just take his own third? He has map control. That's important to note. When you have Blink Stalkers and you have them quicker and you have more of them, yeah, you control the map. It is your map for now. Riser, on the other hand, adding his own Blink and a Robo. So despite having the better economy will allow him to slowly catch up. But, and also because the colors are so close to each other, and yes, I'm blaming you guys for this. Oh, the shield battery, this is optimistic. And because they're both Protoss, the upgrades, I'm getting him confused. Because Riser's kind of catching up in upgrades, but he has the more typical stuff. Oh, I gotta concentrate. Meanwhile, Jennison has less probes, but he has the 3 bases. Oh, Riser on the chase. Kind of surprised. He's going to take the fight. Guardian Shield will make up for some of the lack of upgrades. Riser, killer instinct there. Understanding he could fight. He has the numbers. So despite going down a little early, a bit of a rocky start, he's evened it out. Whereas Jennison now, like, it keeps looking like he's behind, but he's actually a little ahead. I would say, like with Robo and +2, Robo Bay rather, and +2, as well as his the third Nexus already done. The unit composition goes to Jennison. The only thing that doesn't is the sheer amount. Well, actually, he has the same amount of Stalkers. The only thing that doesn't is the worker count, and that's evening up now. Those Stalkers look very cool. I'm distracted by the fact. Could we stop changing the player colors every game? Oh my god. It affects me more than it should. Oh my god, that's a huge snipe. Oh my god. What a play! What a play! Oh, he wanted the Robo too, but no, he got out while the getting's good. That is huge. Getting the +2, especially that close to it finishing. Big snipe from Riser. Risering to the occasion. Oh no, not the Disruptor too. Oh, Blunk's on it. Blunked on in turn. He's gonna run. Blink's still on cooldown. Loses a couple Stalkers, but that's nothing compared to the price of the Ruptors. He's gonna lose a couple more on the way out, making it a little closer. He didn't kill the Robo Bay or the Robo, so the Disruptor count will continue to grow. But he's already, remember, he's now remembering he had a Stargate, so he's building Phoenixes. And that will counter the Disruptors to an extent. I don't know if Jennison will remember that the Stargate exists. Like, the game has gone on for a while, you kind of forget the Stargate was the opener. So, the soft counter to Disruptors with those Phoenix lifts is on the field. And also, the sniping of +2 attack is a huge deal. Those Stalkers having even or better upgrades really allows you to be much more of a bully with your Disruptors. Just push people around. But here comes Jennison. The Ruptors are the wild card, as they have been throughout this match. Charge. Charge is not done for Jennison. I gotta... Oh my god! He lifts it up at the last possible second! None of the shots come out! And when you lift it after it fired... Oh, I heard a recall. That had to be from Jennison. Wiped off the field. Riser. Huge plays. Oh, move over, Shakespeare. You got competition. Because Riser making the biggest plays. If there was any sort of doubt about who was leading, now let that be clarified. As Riser just removed the top 2 advantages Jennison had. Number 1, upgrade lead. Just for all your units but the Ruptors. This is a little awkward. And number 2 was the Ruptors themselves, which he precisely removed at the right time. And now Jennison forced to play defensively. He's still going to have Disruptors against a non-Disruptor army, but now he can't make any more mistakes. The next fight he loses will be on defense, which means you don't have much to recover from. The game kind of just ends if you lose a fight on defense. +1 armor is finishing up. +3 coming up for Riser. How many Disruptors? 3 Disruptors. Oh, is that a Dark Tower? Oh, no. If there's one thing you don't want to do... Oh, no. He blinked. You don't want to be spending your robo time on observers. So, Jennison had next to no observers at home. No, he had 0 observers at home, which isn't very many. And the DTs have kept him busy for quite a bit now. The army coming in right as the observer comes out. I don't think it's explicitly here to snipe this. 1 Disruptor on the high ground. Somebody somehow has to change all of this. It will not. Riser brings it back, and it's all tied up. 2-2. Riser with a decisive performance. Once again, a little bit, and you gotta harp on it a little in PvP. But a tougher start, but everything past the Oracle went to Riser. Great snipes, not much ability to actually punish Riser for being greedy from Jennison. It felt like he kind of tried to jam Blink Stalkers into a non-existent hole, as many players will do, and only a handful have success with it. You can shout out the spot. Dricket, I'm getting to that. God. Anyways, yada, yada, yada. Disruptors, good job, Riser. 2-2. Have you heard of our sponsors for the Team eXoN versus Team Archangel match? Well, if you haven't yet heard of them, you can just hear them. The Pick Up Your Sticks podcast. pickupyoursticks.captivate.fm or Pick Up Your Sticks podcast. Fucking Google it. That is your best option to reliably find it. Available on all podcast networks near you, as long as those podcast networks are captivate.fm. Or you can use the bracket command, and with it you'll find the Matcherino page, on which you will find... Will you find that? No, you won't find it there. Yeah, it's not on that page. So, don't do that. Maybe it's... No, you have to you just Google it. Or follow the links. Thank you, Creighton, for the rate. You're not... No, who's gonna host the lobbies? What are you doing? Oh yeah, we're having a Grandmaster 2v2, by the way. Been a bit. But here's what the lobby looks like. And the bants begin. So the score right now is worth... It's 2-2, which means we're even. So, if I crunch the numbers... Have we used all the codes, by the way, Dricket? If we haven't used all the codes, then I haven't... I'm gonna refresh. We're not there. We're at 84. I don't know if that means we're there or not. I used my code. I did my part. Now you do yours. Log in with Twitch. I know it sounds crazy. And now we're gonna... So, there's gonna be Max Pax and Gerald versus Shadone and Rickus, which is a fun name. And then we're gonna have a 4 versus 4, if you thought things couldn't get crazier, with Avocado, Adominus, Snowden, Fordumi versus Rickus, Monster, Riser, and Marsman. In a... No... Wow, that's actually going to be something. It's 2 Protoss and 2 Terrans on each team for 4v4. Because Zergs were eliminated. And also that'll... Unfortunately, you can't build on friendly slime in 4v4 in team games. That's another rough... Like, Zergs kind of have an awkward spot in teams where they're relegated to either cheesing early. I can get a little into... I'm sorry, we're working out the team colors. Creighton actually managing their team colors, as opposed to just making us suffer and try to figure out who's on whose team. Now, once Max Pax is here. But in team games, and there are no Zergs here, you can transfer resources starting at the 3-minute mark. You can share control, which some players will do. I know there's a handful of people who watch Age of Empires who watch me now, maybe 3 to 8. So, you cannot... There are a few mechanics that you would think would work, but don't. You can't build on creep. If you're even friendly creep. And now, when the creeps touch, who can tell the difference? And that's the point, right? So you can't be, like, cannon rushing on creep or defending your teammate. So that puts Zergs, like, they have to have their own personal space. And Zergs, I mean, they've been brooding over it for... Oh my god, are we playing on the... Everybody, I'm sorry. Let me get the right music for this map. We'll get to the introductions. Welcome to Team eXoN versus Team Archangel. I gotta say, these colors look amazing.
Hey, you!
We're on Nightscape. It's almost as good as Disco Bloodbath. But it's probably gonna be a Disco Bloodbath. Introducing, in the bottom left, for Team eXoN, the Protoss players, Max Pax and Geralt. And walling out the probes. In the top right, for Team Archangel, the Terran, Rickus. In the Protoss, we've seen him before, Shadone. And I think I'm just gonna leave. This is my Rocket League. Oh, the ultimate duel! It's hard to tell whose probe is whose. We could switch to team colors. No, we can't. No, we can't. We cannot. Whoever wins this gets 2 points. You know what? Best of 9 works. Because there are 9 points. No, there are 10 points on the table. But we're not going to tie. At this point, whoever wins this will be at 4. But then whoever wins the 4v4 will win anyway. So essentially, this match doesn't matter. But don't tell them that. I just worked that math out. I'm not sure if there are prizes for individual matches. That might be part of the reason. And oh my god, look how cool this shit is. Look at the lines. Look at the lines. Oh, it's like Tron. Anyways, the first Reaper. And with the next eye lighting it up. Oh! Terrans, get out of here. This is a laser party. There are 1, 2, 3 Stargates in production. Okay, okay. I can't cast like this. I'm not... Oh, wait, whoa, whoa, whoa. It's the map. I thought, like, there was something weird happening, and it was just the music. It's the damn map. The map is so loud. Calm down. Well, I didn't expect that to be the issue. But here we are. So, let's try to keep track of whatever was happening in this game now after that brief intermission. Oh, the typical play? Phoenix War. Phoenix War is scaled up because there is no even remote need for ground units. Both players are having their teammate cover the ground. So, the Phoenix War will begin. Shadone versus Max Pax in the air, with their teammates left to pick up the pieces. Well, actually, the Phoenixes pick up the pieces. Their teammates will pick up the rest. The Dark Shrine won't actually be scouted. He's just going to pick up the Stalkers. Max Pack's going to come back with his Phoenixes. Now, the shield batteries will heal friendly Phoenixes, so a little synergy there. There's a lot of lights. All right. I don't know. Max Pax wins because, obviously, as he was able to get this round with more Phoenixes against less Phoenixes with less HP. So that kind of concludes this phase of the game. There are also DTs on the way, which... did he actually see? He saw the dark... They saw the Dark Shrine, right? No! Oh my god, by that much. Meanwhile, Max Pax and... Oh, Phoenix, you just... This is what you did to him! How do you not think about this? Max Pax just did that to Shadone, and then suddenly he's surprised when Shadone does it to him. But here come the DTs. There's a fleet beacon on the way. An Oracle comes in for Revelation. More DTs. Decent scan. There's a scan over here. The scans are all coming from the same Terran. Unfortunately, that scan, there was nothing left. A little bit of miscommunication there, if there's communication. The Oracle can reveal the DT, but not if the pylon is dead, which is a classic problem. Now, turrets are... Oh, no. Well, that's a goddamn heartbreaker right there, isn't it? The DT going for it. There's a scan in just a second or two. Oh my god. It's a disaster. I gotta say, I'm really... Shout out to Creighton for having Geralt pick yellow as his color. Because the mini-map just looks amazing. The map, for the players, a bit of a mess. But the mini-map and the map itself, they look incredible. If the if J.J. Abrams wasn't directing this amount of lens flare and glow, I think if we just toned that down like 30%, amazing. I can't get over it. Meanwhile, Phoenix range for both players. Somehow, where's my worker count? Overall, Team Archangel has less workers. Of course, one of them's a Terran in Rickus, and this creates a bit of an interesting dynamic. Like, the Phoenixes can pick up the tanks, and it's Marine tank here, complemented by a Phoenix army against Blinkstalker Phoenix. And on paper, I think Team Archangel has the better army composition, but the mobility heavily goes in favor of Team eXoN. Oh, tank fires off a shot. Phoenix traded in turn. Could pick up the tank. The Marines trying to get involved. Everyone's here. Phoenix range is done. It's finishing for Shadone momentarily. They're looking for an opportunity. Tanks can't cover everything, at least not until you have enough of them. Oh, DT's trying to come in. Not finding an opportunity. The Phoenix is looking for pickups. You've got to be careful. Are there any air upgrades? No, only Protoss upgrades across the board. Rickus hasn't even gone for a combat shields or stim. He's just focused on providing buffer right now. The DT's finding an opportunity. There are a couple revelations at the back. A scan. The Phoenixes will be able to pick this up, which means they can pick off anything else. On Team eXoN side, the Phoenix is dancing across. The rocks themselves under fire. I'm not sure how much that's going to factor in. Rickus, still no stim on the way. But how many Phoenixes? 23 to 15. But they stack in clumps to hide their numbers. Except that's what they're doing. It's almost impossible to get a full gauge of exactly how many Phoenixes there are. There is a revelation. I think at this point Shadone can comfortably say that MaxPax has more, partially because the Oracle existed at all in order to give that revelation. Uh-oh. Oh, no. The ransacking of the gold base. In other news, there's a pocket gold, by the way. The entire gold base is dead. Rick has just lost so many SCVs. 47? Yeah. That is, not a small number. MaxPax will chase the Phoenixes. What is even happening? What reality are we living in? I can't... It's literally Tron. I thought for some... It's hard to actually focus on the fight with whatever's going on underneath it. Is it just me? Am I the one who's easily distracted? I don't think so. It is not me who is the problem. Here come the Phoenixes, a handful of Marines. You gotta drop it! Drop it like it's hot! Or like there are 20 Phoenixes coming in hot. There was a recall. Team eXoN is significantly ahead on supply here. Rickus is finally filling in the standard Terran upgrades. Shadone is bleeding out Phoenixes. He's lost 20 so far this match. I think the glowiness is definitely lowering the frame rate as well. Of course, there are more players, but there's a lot of a recall. But somehow some of the Phoenixes got left behind. So a few more. It's 31 to 14, but Shadone has been going down the Phoenix Road, and he's quadrupling down. Stargate number 4 is coming up. Wait, no. Stargate number 5. There's a lot of It doesn't help that almost everyone is Protoss, by the way. Like, it's like going into a Joanne Fabrics. Would you like it in pastel, or would you like it in red pastel? The answer is, Mom, why do you have to keep bringing me into Joanne Fabrics? I'm 12 years old. I'm gonna stay in the car. And that's the answer. Meanwhile, the Phoenixes are dragged back. The entire combined Protoss army. There's some Terran down here. So at least we can tell that's definitely Terran. You know what? We're just going to do this preemptively because we're about to do a 4v4 anyways. Let's tone it down, everybody. Uh-oh. Did I break something? I don't know how much that's going to help. Oh my god, lasers explode. You know, this would maybe make it easier. At least it would make sense. Shadone is really hurting right now. He's got less Phoenixes, less workers. But Rickus is the wild card as the only Terran in the room, with a bunch of Protoss epilepsy warnings coming in. Team eXoN has way more bases, but I'm not entirely sure how that's going to play out. Rickus is nearly maxed, to his credit. The upgrades are confusing. There's gonna be carriers. There's carriers in the production tab. And we'll see if they're actually on the field for realsies soon enough. Phoenix. What's the Phoenix sound? Wait. Shadowed has more Phoenixes with better upgrades, kind of. There's a shield upgrade, which I'm not even sure how that factors in. I don't think it's gonna matter much. These Widow Mines might. The medevacs have a big job to do, and they're not paid enough to do it. They have not provided enough Red Bulls. Red Bull, please sponsor me. A mothership just came in to make everything even more confusing. Many of the same units on both sides, but not all. Widow Mines finding opportunity. Oh yeah, this was never gonna be an easy thing to follow. Interceptors, yeah, you know, like, where were we with this? Back to this. Oh, and it's over. So yeah, that was fun for like 2 minutes, and then immediately my eyes and my frame rate. Yeah, Widow Mines are a double-edged sword. In fact, they're not a sword, they're a regular hand grenade with a lot of potential to throw. And also, it's funny. All Protoss look alike. But on that map, when we're filtered through, like, the Tron filter, you know what? So, let's make things even... Okay. Team eXoN, pick, like, red, yellow, orange. Team Archangel, pick. I'm liking the color, like, so now, if 2v2 was confusing, it's about to get a little bit more so. But first, if you want some clarity in your life, if you like gaming, and you like words, may I introduce you to some of the best words. The Pick Up Your Sticks podcast, sponsors of the Team eXoN versus Archangel grudge match. And people you should check out Pick Up Your Sticks podcast on Google and other podcasting things. But also Google. So... All right, we actually got some color. Like, we did it. Me and Creighton. Me inspired by Creighton. We got consistent oh no, a Zerg coming in to muddy everything up. We bullied the pro gamers into picking satisfying colors. And this is for all the marbles. And by marbles, I mean money. Somewhat valuable marbles. That last match, actually, if we're counting points, will have no bearing on the outcome of anything. So don't worry if you're a Team Archangel fan. Because this match will decide. Oh my god. Oh, I'm sorry. One sec. I gotta prepare myself for this match. I'll be right. Okay. Oh no, this map also has weird lighting. I can't. Here we go again. Wow. On Old Estate. For Team Archangel. This one has like a weird angle for how... Oh, you know, making them too close in colors is now going to make it even more confusing. I take it all back. I'm just going to read the names. That's what I'm here for. Just read the names, talkie man! For Team Archangel, it is the Terran Monster. The Terran, but in purple, Rickus. The Protoss, Riser. And the other Protoss, but in light blue, Mars Man. And then, on the opposite side, the more racially diverse team, in the red, Fulajumi. In the Zerg, yellow, Snowden. In the pink, Adonminus. And in the orange, our Terran, the backstop of the team, Kato. If everything else goes wrong, he's right where he needs to be. Closest to the corner that he can float into. But this map, so much of it already utilized, the only corners you can float to are these surprisingly detailed bottom right and top left. So, 4v4. Gotta bring that off. What is it? No one knows. How do you play it? Same answer. In fact, I'm going to preemptively lower my graphics settings. But I want to... Oh, you know what? We already did that last game. I kind of blacked out that last game. I think most people did after that many strobe lights. At least the production tab looks good. It's gonna be... Okay, one... We're gonna have to count just per team. We got 3 Stargates for Archangel. And then we have 1 Stargates for eXoN. And we have 6 Zerglings. Wait, no. All the Zerglings that are made this match will be from Team eXoN. So, Adept's trying to get in. It really feels like it should be... Oh my god. Okay, I guess that's right. Why is it so... It's like so... This is like when the lights... So we just spent... Oh, we already know. You guys know. Oh, it's so obvious. Last match was on Nightscape, which is the disco club. And then Old Estate is like the disco club, but after the concert ends, and they bring the lights up, and everybody has to go home now, with the like awkwardly bright lights, and you're like, oh my god. I thought you were. A lot of things I could have said, but really, you were halluc, and I was lost. There's a Nidus Network, a Fusion Core, 2 Phoenixes, and a Dark Shrine in the production tab for Team eXoN. So, make of that what you will. I have no idea what they're going to make of it, and I would doubt, like, I don't know, maybe they have a strategy. The Phoenixes, yeah, that's how I feel too. Oh, they get embarrassed when people are watching. Oh my god. Oh! Come on, Tars! Come on, Phoenix! Come on! Oh! Yeah, the Phoenix. I like that. The Phoenix Tornado. Oh wait, no, the Phoenix summoning ritual versus the Phoenix middle school dance is what we're somehow they both picked the most confusing. What are you doing? He did a swarm host Nidus onto the high ground. That's a DT drop leading into the swarm host Nidus play. The old over under. Wait, no, that doesn't make any sense. Goes for the Nexus, scans. I didn't think this map could get any brighter, but it somehow did. Meanwhile, there's still a Dark Templar. Oh, another scan. Dark Templar revealed. The Nidus, not found. 2 battle cruisers, a classic 4v4 move. Let your teammates fight while eventually one dude gets a bunch of battle cruisers. Or carriers, or fill in the capital ship here. You might notice Zergs don't have capital ships, which is why they always Zergling rush. So the Phoenix, the combined Phoenix fleets of Team Archangel coming in. What is there to match them? There's essentially nothing. All the probes are gonna die. Where are the fleet? Who called in the fleet? The battle cruisers of Team eXoN. There's a Nidus towards the bottom center. Phoenix is picking up, but Yamato Cannon's knocking them down. How many Phoenixes does it take to hit a battle cruiser? The world may never know. Adonminus escorting the cruisers. Meanwhile, Swarm Host, the Locusts can fly, but they can't hit flying things. Maybe they should just share control. There are also tanks of 2 different flavors. I prefer the blue flavor, personally. A lot of people prefer the purple flavor, but the purple flavor is actually the worst flavor. I'm sorry, Rickus. Meanwhile, there's a Nidus. Hello? Hello? Well, the Nidus is gonna say hello.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Yeah, I don't think they noticed, based on the fact that nobody's doing anything about it. Oh, there you go. Meanwhile, the fleets will retreat as the Locusts, they're just going to go for the Nexus. I think they're going to get it. Yeah. Well, there goes that. There's a tank in the medevac. They just kind of killed the Nexus. So now there's a bunch of battle Tempest on the way for Team Archangel, but right now, oh well, that's a lot of Marine. I'm not sure what's happening. Oh, tactical job. Oh, Phoenixes! Phoenixes! I heard a Nidus somewhere. The Phoenixes win. Gee, wait. Oh wait. Okay, they do. Team eXoN wins! In 8.5 minutes. And then it just ends. And that's it. It just ends. Well. At least it was over quick. Somehow in 8.5 minutes we got down to 8.5 FPS, and that tells you how good these players are. Congratulations, Team eXoN, on their victory and supremacy over Team Archangel. And that thank you to our sponsors, you, as well as Pick Up Your Sticks podcast. The final score is 8-2, which is a win. Okay. And oh yeah, like and subscribe on YouTube. I hope you enjoy. Thank you, Dricket. Thank you, everyone. Abrupt ending, cut.